Greetings, I'm Professor Hobo. Welcome to another HOBOTECH News product review. Today is more of a follow-up than a review. I've already done most of the preliminary on the EcoFlow Wave. This is EcoFlow's brand new 4000 BTU portable air conditioner. Now, I was waiting for this battery to come in, and it took a couple of weeks, but I finally got the battery, I got it charged up, and I decided to do some tests because everybody had a bunch of questions. They wanted everything from the hose size, to why didn't I have it hooked up to the window, to why I ran it off of an inverter and not a battery. So all those questions are going to be answered in this video.
HOBOTECH.
So what we're going to do is I charge this battery up all the way, then I hook this up to my window using this. So I have this double layer insulated thick cardboard with foam, and this uses their snap-in connector on the back. These hoses are 6 inches and 8 inches in diameter. I got 50 questions people asking what the hose diameters were. And they have to be mounted vertically. You can't mount this sideways, obviously, because the air conditioner would be sideways. So if you're measuring for holes, it has to look like this. Now, I know this isn't perfect, but it was basically just for this test. I'm probably not going to leave this air conditioner in the window because I got an air conditioner built into the wall. But this was for testing purposes. And you're really going to be surprised how little power this thing ends up using. I'm not going to spoil it. You have to watch the whole video to find out. After we kill the battery, we're going to go ahead and charge this battery up with solar. We're going to let it sit outside for 5 hours and find out how much battery do you get back from a 200-watt panel, because it is solar chargeable. We're also going to find out how much does it cool this room. So we'll see how many degrees does it bring the room temperature down. These are all answers you guys want to know, so let's find out. Okay, here we go. I have the EcoFlow Wave with the battery now. They finally sent me the battery. I got it fully charged. So we're gonna go ahead and turn on the battery. I got a stopwatch. We're gonna go ahead and time and see how long is the battery gonna last. Room temperature is 79 degrees. Outside temperature is 84 degrees. So this should be quite a challenge for this 4000 BTU. Now this room is 160 square feet, very well insulated. I do have a brand new argon-filled double pane window, completely sealed around, new gaskets around the doors, and a concrete slab underneath. And then we're gonna adjust the temperature to 72 degrees, which would be a comfortable indoor temperature. Oh, it won't let me do it, all right. Well, since it won't let me set it to 72, we'll set it to 71, and we'll go ahead and put the fan on maximum and see how well it cools down this room. Remember, we're starting at 79 degrees. I did wait until a little bit later in the day. It's about 4 o'clock. It's still pretty warm out there, but there's no sun beating on this window. That would make it an unfair test. So there we go. Timer is started, and we're gonna go ahead and find out how long does it run on maximum. Do note that it does say right there it's gonna run for 2.6 hours, now 2.5 hours, so we'll see. How accurate is it? Is it really gonna run for 2.5 hours off the battery at full blast? Also note, I kept the intake hoses as short as possible. They're not really giving off very much heat, and besides, they're behind this curtain, so it shouldn't really affect this test very much.
Bang, bang.
So we got about 2 hours, 45 minutes on the battery, and that's pretty good. This is a 4000 BTU air conditioner, and that's not that big of a battery. So this seems to be pretty efficient on DC. The ambient temperature in the room is 72 degrees. This one over here says 73 degrees. So this room's 160 square feet. Ceiling's about 8 feet tall. So it's like 1,300 cubic feet, something like that. Plus I have approximately a ton, or at least 3/4 of a ton of lithium batteries in this room, combined with all the lithium solar generators I have in here, plus the concrete floor, which is a giant heat sink. You have to consider there is a lot of mass in this room that likes to hold its temperature. So this brought this room from 79 degrees to 72 degrees in under 3 hours. Now that's pretty impressive for a portable battery-powered air conditioner. So just how efficient is this on DC? Well, the only way we're gonna know is by plugging it into a Delta product. Now I do have a Delta Pro. I'm waiting on the firmware update. So as soon as I get that firmware update, we're gonna go ahead and do that test. This air conditioner runs differently on DC than it does on AC. When you plug it into AC, it's like no holds barred. It maxes everything out. But if you have it on battery power, it says in the book it acts differently. It acts more efficiently. So I want to see just how much more efficient it is on DC power. All right, guys, we're back. It's 3 hours later. It took me that long to get the firmware update installed. This is a special version I had to get from EcoFlow because this product isn't out yet. And what this allows is for the Wave to run directly on DC off these batteries. Okay, I've been running this on maximum, and I'll tell you what I mean by that. I have the temperature set to 60 degrees. So I've had this thing running on maximum for, about 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, something like that, because I wanted to know for sure if the numbers I'm seeing are correct. See this number right here? It says 281. It's going back and forth to 284. That's the number of watts in DC that this air conditioner is using on max. Now, I do currently have the fan set on low. It takes about 20 more watts of power if you crank it all the way up. So as you can see here, it's barely using over 300 watts. Now, that's significantly better than in our AC test. It was using 400, 450 watts. Now it does say here, this air conditioner will run on maximum. That means compressor and fan running for 11 hours, and that's confirmed over here. That also right there says 11 for 11 hours. Now, of course, you can turn the fan down and get a little extra time. You can also get it to run a lot more if you just change the temperature. This thing has a timer built in. Let's say we want it to run for 3 hours and then automatically shut off. So I set it to 3 hours, and now it goes into a different kind of mode where it'll try to be extra efficient on power. And you can see right there, it's actually up to 12 hours now. So just by turning the timer on, gained us a little bit of extra power. And it sounds like the compressor inside is winding down because it's making a different sound than it was before with the timer off. Now they do mention this in the manual that when you're on battery power and you're running the timer, it goes into a special power saving mode to pretty much extend the amount of time your air conditioner can run. You can see here, the power is now reduced to about 290 to 300 watts. And this is actually a lot quieter than it was too. The decibel range has certainly went down quite a bit. So if you want to know how long the timer can run on this, 8 hours is the maximum. So you could set this to run, say, like while you're sleeping, and it will shut off in 8 hours. This is actually quite impressive that you have a 4,000 BTU running off of less than 300 watts. So this is way more efficient than it was on AC power. When we were running it on AC, it was running about 400 to 450 watts. Now that's typical for a wall unit like this one here. This is a 5,000 BTU. And when it's really cranking that compressor, it'll do 400, 425 watts. Well, this was floating around 400 and 450, and this is a 4,000 BTU, but it was converting AC to DC to run a DC compressor. So there was a conversion loss. And like I said in my review video, I wouldn't be surprised if this was much more efficient on DC, and it actually is, because what's happening now is it's sending DC from this battery to the air conditioner through the cable directly DC. There's no conversions taking place. It's running directly off the battery. So therefore, it's not doing that AC to DC thing, which wastes usually about 20%. And that is about what the math works out to be. We're running this at 290 watts on maximum speed. That's more than 100 watts saved. It's like 120 watts less power. So you can run this thing. It still says 13 hours on here now. So one 3,600 watt-hour Delta Pro battery will run this air conditioner for 13 hours. Now, for those of you who say you can't run an air conditioner on a battery, this isn't even adding solar to it. Now imagine if you added solar to this, which you can. With the Delta Pro, you can add solar and extend this runtime where you can run this air conditioner basically for free every day. Now, I'm only running this off the Delta Smart battery because this thing's 30 pounds lighter. I can lift it up and put it on the table. But the Delta Pro has the same battery in it, so you're thinking one battery is 13 hours. If you have the Delta Pro plus an extra battery, that's 26 hours of constant air conditioning. Now, that's 26 hours of running compressor time. That's not 26 hours of run time, because once your room gets to whatever temperature you want, the compressor will shut off, and that saves a lot of power. So when it says 13 hours here, it's probably double that, because most of the time these air conditioners will cycle about 50% if you have it set to a reasonable temperature. Now, if you have it set to 60, it's going to try really hard to keep it at 60, but if you put it at 72 degrees, now you shouldn't have any problems running basically 16, 20 hours off of one of these 3600 watt hour batteries. Now note, this only works with Delta products. You can't use the BLUETTI, you can't use the EcoFlow Mini, you can't use the EcoFlow River, so it either has to be the Delta Max or the Delta Pro, or the Smart Battery. I keep forgetting, you can get these separately. So this is why that they had this air conditioner package with a Delta product. Now, I really complained to them about this. What they did is they put their packages with the Delta Pro first. They bundled the air conditioner with a Delta Pro, and it's like $4,000, and people their minds are blowing up going, this air conditioner is $4,000. No, the air conditioner was not ever $4,000. This is $1,199 by itself without the battery, and you don't need this battery if you get a Delta product. If you get this, you can skip this battery. This battery just makes it portable so you can carry it around and get your 3 hours of air conditioning. But this is a lot more practical if you're going to keep it in one place. So what's the takeaway here? Absolutely run this air conditioner off of DC. I wouldn't bother buying this to plug it into a wall or to plug it into a non-Delta product. I would just either get the battery that you can get with the air conditioner and run it off of DC and solar, or get a Delta Pro or one of the EcoFlow Delta products. Get it in the bundle, and that's gonna save you some money, and that'll allow you to run this super efficiently. We're down to 270 watts, and it's still blowing ice cold. I mean, it's actually freezing my head right now. It still says 13 hours. I've been running this for like 15 minutes, and it's only used 1% of the battery. So very, very efficient. Definitely a thumbs up product. Okay, so let's provide a comparison here. This is pretty much the cheapest air conditioner money can buy. This is a straight up, old school, completely mechanical, no digital controls, 5,000 BTU air conditioner. It's really small. I used to have this in my RV. When it's running on full, this is high with maximum compressor, it's using about 415 to 420 watts, and that's direct AC wall power. If you tried to run this off of an inverter, you can add 20% to that. So that's the big difference here. This is why you're spending more money. This has a DC compressor, which makes it way more efficient. So this will run 4,000 BTUs at low 300 watt range, and that's directly from a battery, not from an inverter. Now, if you run it from an inverter, it's a lot less efficient. You run this cheap Walmart unit from an inverter, you can expect to burn 500 to 550 watts. So you're saving essentially 200 watts by going DC. Okay, I have one final test. I have a 200 watt solar panel plugged directly into the EcoFlow Wave. We're gonna go ahead and see how much battery we get. We'll see if it will totally charge the battery one day. This battery's completely dead. So let's see what happens. Okay, we're back. This has been charging in the sun with this 200 watt solar panel for approximately 5 hours. I started at 11 this morning. It is now 3 in the afternoon. You can see there it is still on bar number 2 of 4. The reality here is that solar charging this with only 200 watts isn't really going to be practical. It would be fine with topping up the battery, but it's not really going to work for a long-term solution. You would probably need to use a Delta Pro or Delta Max in order to really pump a lot of solar into this. So here are the results of the solar test. I was actually able to get 2 out of 4 lights. So no, unfortunately, I didn't get to see 4 lights.
There are 4 lights!
I plugged a 200 watt solar panel into this battery directly, and I ran it for 5 hours. Now this is perfect sun conditions. It's pretty hot out there today, but the sky is completely blue, not a cloud in the sky, great Arizona sunshine. Only 2 lights in 5 hours means you're really not going to charge this thing up in one solar day. But you can also just buy a Delta Pro, and that's the same battery as this, 3,600 watt hours, a little more expensive, of course. Or you can get the Delta Max. So the Delta Max also has a DC output, which works with this air conditioner. The regular Delta and the Delta Mini do not have the DC output, so you can't run it directly from DC. Of course, you can plug it in the AC and use the inverter, and then that defeats the whole purpose of this air conditioner. If you're going to plug this into AC wall power, just buy a Walmart $100 air conditioner, because you're not going to see any benefit running this off of AC power. Although you can, in an emergency, but you're going to use a lot more power, like 450 watts versus the low 300s than running it on DC. So it just makes more sense. If you're going to spend that kind of money, run it off of a DC source like the Delta Pro or the Delta Pro Smart Battery or the Delta Max. Now, if you are interested in the EcoFlow Wave, there is a link below in the description of this video. I think there's about 5 or 6 days left at the time of this recording for the pre-order offer. So it's going to be at a lower price than normal because this is currently on pre-order. After the pre-order, I'm expecting the price will probably go up. Now, you can get this alone for $11.99. It's not $2,500 or $4,000 or $6,000. So people were screaming in the comments, it's $4,000. No, it's not. No, it's not. Just relax. When you click on the link, it takes you to their page with the pre-order. And of course, like any company who doesn't understand marketing, they put the Delta Pro with the air conditioner on top, which is a combo, is like $4,300. But if you want to get the air conditioner alone, it's only $11.99. Now, you might say that's too expensive still. Well, maybe it is, but the competition actually costs more than this, and their air conditioner is only like 2,300 BTUs. Now, I do have a Zero Breeze, so I do have the competition. I just never did the final review on it because I was doing some testing and then some issues happened, and so I never finished that review. But I ran that air conditioner for several months in the window upstairs. I know exactly how it performs. I know how long it lasts. I know exactly how much power it uses. This per BTU uses less power and has a longer runtime than the Zero Breeze Mark II, and it costs about the same. I mean, I know there's probably only $100 or $200 difference between the two. So this is a much, much better buy. You have to remember, this is a DC compressor, fully portable air conditioner that you can carry around with you and run off a battery. A $100 Walmart unit can't do that, and if you run a $100 Walmart unit off of an inverter, you can expect it's going to take 500 plus watts, or this is going to take 300 plus watts. It's a huge difference in power when you're running off of DC. So this is where you're spending your money, and this does have a 3-year warranty. So it's not like, you know, if you have a problem, if it blows up in 90 days, and a lot of you are concerned, how long is this going to last if you spend $11.99? Well, it comes with a 3-year warranty. With that Walmart air conditioner, you get a 1-year warranty. I know because I bought 3 of them. I know they only come with a 1-year warranty. If somebody is in the market for something portable like this, you can use in a camper van, RV, tent. You can literally take it anywhere and you don't have to hook it up outside. You know, you can leave it in a room and just have it blow cold air on you if that's all you want. But you have to understand, it's $11.99 without the battery. Then they have a bundle with the battery. Although I think this is probably a better bargain if you buy the air conditioner without the battery and just get an EcoFlow Max. Yes, it's more expensive, but if you're looking to save the most amount of power as possible, say you're off-grid or you're boondocking, this is really going to be the best way to go. And that's why they put those bundles at the top of the screen. It kind of makes more sense because they're still portable units, and that battery will give you a lot more runtime. So if you're interested in the EcoFlow Wave portable air conditioner, there's a link below in the description, and I'm going to go ahead and put the same link right here. This will take you to the pre-order page where you can still get a good deal on this. I know many of you are going to see this video more than a week later. That link will turn into a link where you can purchase it directly off their website at whatever price they decide to mark this thing up to. So really, this is your last chance to pre-order it at the lower price. So link below is in the description and right here at the bottom of the screen. Thanks for watching. If you learned something today, don't forget to give me that thumbs up below. And if you're not a subscriber already, you know what to do. That's it for now. Till next time.
Odin commands you to like and subscribe, and clean my litter box.
If your search for a Sultan is a pain in the neck, go to YouTube and watch HOBOTECH, 'cause he's a testing this and he's a probing that. He's even been probing Odin's cat. If you want to get all the Sultan back, go to HOBOTECH. Yeah!
RV Golf Guy, Andrew Von Rupp, Brian Luters, John Jason Soroka, Dr. Steve Eisenberg.